write a report. And I very rarely do that. And it's because of this bank holiday situation with the Queen dying, and things have been delayed and blocked. With my private working force, where I have to privately pay a company which is exploiting me to clear my rubbish, as they've stopped their services, as I'm living in a house and not a flat. I'm living in a flat, not a house, in the other way around. So this is me, them interrogating me. Why did you leave your rubbish outside for a week? Why did you insult us? And why did you do this? And you deserve to have your head cut off and your genitals cut off. And yet they're the ones who are guilty. They're the ones who created all this nonsense of unfair and unequal society. And so I have to chase it up, send my bank statements this morning for my birthday, not touch my rubbish. I'm going to touch it, I plan, on Friday when they're going to come and collect my rubbish. So I had to endure with their evil, and they won't put up with my rubbish, and yet they're the ones who had blocked the services. They were so jealous and envious of the fact that I had assisted collections free service. They were so jealous and envious of the fact that I was receiving eligible state benefits. They were so jealous and envious of the fact that I had a happy new home. So what they have done, they have stolen my insults, stolen my credits, stolen my children, stolen my home, stolen my time, stolen my peace, stolen my happiness, stolen my human rights, stolen my privacy, and as a result of doing all that, who is the effing FF? If they're not the poop in my toilet, then there must be hell on earth. There must be a horror and some monster on earth, because they're looking to enslave me by an evil system of a groupthink, which is totally inconsiderate. Not only are they whispering or talking or shouting insults about me under my window, and drilling with their building works from 9 o'clock in the morning, they have destroyed everything in my life for 45 years. The sun only shines for them. The fruit and vegetables are only for them. The shelter is only for them. These evil couples who are so-called homeowners that have mortgages and leaseholders. And these evil couples, it's only about them and their shelter. It's not about the single parents who came from domestic abuse, who came from being tortured by the system. They don't care. They think that they have evolved and come to their own conclusions about ethnic minorities, migrants. They came to their own conclusions, only what they are being taught. Should I say that even their classrooms is a corruption? Because even from the education system, that is a secular system, it's unforgiving. It's everything the opposite of virtues. So once they feel that I have insulted them as a typical narcissist, I now have to be a victim surrounded by the majority, and how I have insulted them. Shall I insult them some more? Call them cockeyed perverts. Compared to my lazy eye, where I've actually been injured I have a scar on my eyebrow from being hit by a car. Let's insult them some more. They created a hate crime and a hostile environment. So what would that be? A cretin? Let's call them a cretin. This is my birthday present. So they think they can get away with all this. Crime against humanity from my relatives abroad. Crime against humanity, and they're also genocidal. Humanity, which is the far right sinners. Far right sinners over here, and then you have the far left sinners that make a hostile environment and hate crime against anyone who thinks and says something different. They're intimidated by it or insulted by it for someone being different, which is a load of rubbish. Their interpretation on someone who is different means that they're difficult. So what would that be? To insult them as stupid. So I'll call them stupid. They are clever, and yet they behave stupid, because if somebody is a stranger who is different, that does not make them difficult. How else could I insult them? Every time I take practical steps to help myself and to recover, they come and attack the most vulnerable and the weakest in society. What would that be? Let's insult them as mother effing FF. And the living dead zombies, because they try and apply their self-righteousness and their greed. So that is what that matches the insult I have only just expressed. So that's my birthday present for both of the groups. The living dead zombies, and their horrible darling children that call their mummy, their mummified mummies, zombie. Because their evidence is actually a lie, to say that they can bless themselves as living dead zombies, the mummies. How do they bless themselves? Like, for example, the facts on the pharaohs and the ancient pharaohs in Egypt, the royal ones who have kept a secret how they mummify their body. So they kept a secret, and then it is later revealed that through the Holy Scriptures, God had blessed them because they were repentant of their sins and their greed. In the afterlife, because they were repentant, God had saved them from hell and from death. So God had revealed that through scriptures to me, that the ancient pharaohs and the ancient bad guy, not all of them, but I presume that they had been saved by God's grace as a result of no process, mummification, for the afterlife. It was the opposite of the mummification as a living dead zombie, is giving the life through Christ, new life, a new creature through Christ. So that is evidence in the Holy Bible. So it's holding a broom here where God comes to sweep their sins and their rebellion against God, and those who are genuinely repentant have a fresh start, compared to others who are looking for evidence that is based on fiction, not on fact. And it's based on money and what they can manage with money to fabricate and manifestate a body, to manifestate a monster, when fact is not considered and fiction is considered more. And they say, oh, we care, but they don't care because it is fiction and not factual information. And that evidence is used by money and by courts and law of man, not the law of God, and not without any evidence of suffering for their truth. So then they are either swept away, forever forgotten, regarding their fiction, or they're swept away for forever to have a new start. So whose evidence do they hold? Do they hold the bad angel's evidence or the good angel's evidence? Forever. As the majority who are in my area, I think they are probably of the far right, not the far left, for my neighbours. And then there is the snow, and the fern trees in the cold weather. So this was me. I was part of the snowman system. Freezing cold. And that was me. I was part of that snow where I had to grow in something that was cold and frozen. And yet there was life, with the symbolic to the tree, or tree of life. As the ferns there's something can grow in the cold, in order to be a humble sinner. Until God said, no more, you don't have to be humbled anymore. You've suffered enough. And God gave me the hat and the scarf to keep warm, which is symbolic to a crown that I'm wearing on my head here. And the leaf is telling the bad lot, the majority, to leave. In my sainthood, and also the other type of season, other than the snowflake. So there's another type of season. So where God is in control, and probably more activated, is in the cold, not in the warmth. Because God and the holy angels are looking at who's going to be more repentant, who's going to be reformed more. Then all the angels in heaven celebrate for even one snowflake, or even one individual who is of the snowman system, that is a humble sinner. That is even more important compared to the non-humbled individual. I mean, those that don't have to be humbled anymore, the saints. So one humble